Tommy,
Hey, Stix, how are you, brother?
I'm super drunk.
All right, well, that's good, man. Well, hey, we are glad to have you coming back to Grand Rapids. Steel Panther's going to be bringing that holidays tour, or the winter holidays tour, to our first GRD Jingle Ball at the GLC Live at 20 Monroe, Saturday, December 2nd, and you guys are our first headliner.
Dude, it's an honor. It's an honor to be the first headliner. I am home stretching for it right now, and it's gonna be an awesome show, dude. The band is on fine form right now.
Well, Stix, we did talk to your management. They allowed us to make a Christmas ornament with your logo on there. I did pull some aside. Would you guys like some?
I would love some.
You can hang them on the tree, man.
That's cool, but just don't be surprised if you go to your mail tonight and see a cease and desist letter, bro. I'm kidding. That'd be awesome, dude. Thank you.
Yeah. We're not selling them. That's why I said, hey, man, we're just giving these to the ticket winners. But
I think it's fantastic, and I would love to hang one from the tree.
And after being on AGT, how about getting on Christmas trees? Come on, man.
Dude, you know what? I don't even know what's cooler, AGT or Christmas trees. And I think Christmas is definitely more legendary than AGT. So being on Christmas trees, I think I would take that over AGT. Even though AGT was a great experience, to be on a Christmas tree in some kid's living room in Grand Rapids would be a complete honor.
Well, hey, you guys got that new album out. It came out back in the winter, On the Prowl. And I love listening to the Steel Panther records. The musicianship is fantastic, but there's a lot of fun going on in these songs, and you guys must have a blast in the studio.
You know what? It's really fun to make a Steel Panther record because, pretty much whatever makes us feel the best, whatever makes us laugh lyrically, and whatever makes us, turn it basically. We have a license to do truly whatever we want because we don't have a record company telling us what to do, and we don't have rules. We don't play within the rules. Can't say this because it won't get on radio. Well, that ship sailed for us. And, so for us, it truly is, it comes from what turns us on as a band, and then we create it, and then hopefully the idea is that hopefully everybody or people will enjoy what we enjoy. So that's kind of how we gauge making a record. Do we love these songs? And if we love them, our history says that there will be people out there who love them too.
Well, a lot of times I'll be listening to the lyrics and I'll start laughing so hard because they're very entertaining. I have to rewind to go back and hear what's going on. So what is it like in a writing session lyrically for Steel Panther?
It's funny because we don't sit down and go, okay, we're going to write lyrics now as a group. Let's go. Oftentimes Satchel will come in with ideas, or we spit out ideas and text, song titles and ideas back and forth all the time.
Yeah.
And then, when the lyrics get written is one phase. And then when we go in the studio and Michael Starr records them, that's another phase. And then while he's recording, the sub part of that is, if there's a line or a lyric, and somebody has an idea and it's funnier or better or just cooler sounding, then we go with it. And so it's it really is it's us telling the best jokes that we can to each other. And go, oh, dude, that's awesome. Or sometimes it's not a funny line, but it's a meaningful line. As far as we take our songwriting. We want to write the best songs we can, and because ultimately it doesn't matter what you wear, what you look like, and it doesn't matter. The one thing that will last from a band is the music.
For those that are Steel Panther virgins, Stix, how would you best describe what Steel Panther is all about, from the music to the stage?
Okay, if you took 1986. Motley Crue and Guns N' Roses, or 1988 Guns N' Roses, 86 Crue, and you took, oh my gosh, what's his name? I'm blanking on the name. The Dirty Comic.
Oh, Andrew Dice Clay.
Oh my God, yes. And I use this example. I cannot believe, dude, I must be hammered. So you take Andrew Dice Clay, 86 Motley Crue, 88 Guns N' Roses, and you put all of their DNA in a blender, or if they made love and had a baby, and that baby was 4 middle-aged dudes, that would be a Steel Panther experience. It's dirty, it's rock and roll, it's exciting. You never know what's going to happen. You never know who's going to show up and jam. You never know what songs we might play or what covers we might play or originals. It's an adventure. And the other thing that I would say about a Steel Panther show is we celebrate every walk of life. We've had guys at our show, girls at our show, girls that are guys at our show, guys that are girls at our show. We've had guys that are girls at our show. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what color you are, what religion you are, what sex you are. It doesn't matter. You come to Steel Panther, you walk in that door, you're a freak show for 90 minutes with everybody else with no judgment. You walk out of that room and you just go, you know what? I just got my balls rocked in 90 minutes. Even if you're a lady, you got your balls rocked. And that's the thing. We try to provide a place for people to get their freak on and just not feel judged. That's our goal. We want to have you smile and get rocked.
One thing I love about your shows, I've seen over a dozen of them, is I've never seen the same show twice. So much happens off the cuff at each show, and you guys so brilliantly handle it. It's just a lot of fun. It's almost like wrestling. Sometimes the talking is almost as entertaining as the performance, but they both go hand in hand.
I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, man, every show is different because so much of the show relies on the crowd and who's in the crowd and what's happening in that very moment. And you can't recreate, or you can't recreate spontaneity. And so, early on when we would call people out or bring somebody on stage, people would ask us, hey, are those plants? Did you guys plan that? Is that choreographed? Is that, arranged or prearranged or structured? No, it's never been like that. We come up with a set list, and I call it a set guide, because oftentimes if there's a musician in the crowd, we'll bring them up and we'll do one of their songs. And we've been fortunate enough to play so many shows over the span of our career. We've all learned, countless covers and cut our teeth on performing. That is that's the nature of our band. We're able to kind of just ebb and flow with the vibe. And if that means bringing a girl up who's got some superly large natural gifts, then we bring her up and she has fun, and then the whole crowd has fun. And if that means bringing up somebody who can whistle, through their nose, then we do that too, because it's entertaining.
Let's go back to America's Got Talent for a second. You guys had a solid run there. How did you guys pull this off? I mean, this was a pretty cool plan.
They called us, if I'm being totally honest with you.
Yeah,
They called us a couple years in advance and asked us if we wanted to do it. We didn't know that they allowed for professionals on the show. And they said, yeah, we opened it up. So we couldn't get the schedule right until the next season. And then we had to have a conversation of, man, we're a pretty edgy band. We're not network. We're not network style. So we're going to have to change some stuff. Do we mind doing that? And at the end of the day, we felt like it was worth going and playing by the rules on TV, because we know what we do. We just took it as an opportunity to make more people aware of what we do, because we're proud of it. And it was we were on twice as much as I thought we were going to be on, and then we ended up losing to a 3-legged dog on an iPhone.
No, all I could think about when I found out you guys are going to be on AGT, because you know how people are when they see something on television, they immediately go online and look it up. I started thinking about all those kids and parents watching all those fun videos you guys have on YouTube, man.
Dude, I gotta tell you, there was a lot of that, and we got some messages from people going, I can't believe you guys tricked me like that. And we just did what we do. And there were some people that went online and immediately bought a Steel Panther shirt from our store, right?
Right.
And then I think they dove in after they made the purchase, because some of them returned it unopened. They're like, I can't have this. This is not my stuff. This is not my jam. And I mean, I think there was only 3 or 4 of those out of all the people who got turned on to it. But I thought it was pretty funny. It's people just went, oh, that's cool. That they're obviously this is what they did. They didn't bother to dig, and then I think they ordered stuff, and then they looked up a glory hole video, with a pretty moist video.
Now, you guys had to be grinning from ear to ear behind the scenes, because I feel like you guys pulled off one of the greatest publicity stunts of all time. I haven't seen a band do something this fun in a long time.
You know, it was cool. It was cool to do. And after, you know, not long after that, we were on tour in Canada, and I was walking through a mall with Michael Starr, and this older Asian gentleman was walking towards us, and I'm, you know, when you walk around, you observe people, you say, oh, you know, and then sometimes for me, because I'm weird, I will concoct light stories. And I'm looking at this guy, and I'm like, this guy probably, you know, had a 9-to-5 job, and he's probably retired, you know. And he looks at both of us, and there's no real reason he should have known about our band, because he just didn't seem like a rocker guy.
Yeah.
But he turned to us and he goes, AGT. I went, it actually worked. It actually worked. So it was super cool to have done it, and to know that we got in people's heads that you know, that wouldn't normally know about us.
Now, was it tough trying to pick songs that you would have to edit lyrically in order to even play on TV?
Yes. Dude, there's no, I can't, I mean, I don't know how to make that more clear. It was very tough. It was very tough. And in fact, so Eyes of a Panther, the first one we did, was sort of the no-brainer, you know, banger album. I mean, it's an opening song for our live set a lot. And it's just, there's not a lot of cuss words in it. So then we have a handful of other songs that are dirty, clean, but they may not have been up tempo. And so then America's Got Talent suggested That's All the Metal. We're like, dude, do you know the lyrics to that song? but we did it. And, you know, kudos to Michael Starr. He had a lot of words to remember, but I thought we pulled it off. And I feel like it was hard to lose. I don't like losing, Tommy. I don't like losing. But we also understand that it's not necessarily about the talent as much as it's about the people voting at home. And the 80-year-old woman in Wichita is like, oh, I like the little kid who does the magic tricks, or, you know. And we're not everybody's cup of tea, which I totally get. That's cool.
But dude, it was awesome. And I thought, man, how cool they're pulling this off. Now, if you guys would have moved on, what would have been the next song you played?
Oh, bro, that's the $1 million question. I don't know. Maybe it would have been 1987 On the Prowl. Or it would not have been Bukkake Tears. I can tell you that. And it would not have been Getting Back at the Old Folks Home. So, you know, we would have had to dig deep for sure.
Yeah, Buddy and me, we were texting back and forth. I wonder what they're going to try to play next. We were trying to figure out what songs you guys could do, and we were laughing, man. It was a good time being a Steel Panther fan and knowing the exposure you're getting to people who probably don't know what this is all really about behind the scenes, you know? Yeah,
thanks, dude. That's nice to say, nice to hear. And, you know, while we were doing the show, I really felt like we were holding, you know, we were torchbearers for heavy metal and hard rock, because, like, you know, when you get an opportunity like that, you're sort of thrust to the tip of the spear of whatever you're representing. We represent rock and roll. There's not a lot of rock and roll on TV, and I love that AGT, to their credit, AGT invited us, and that to me says, you know what? Yes, there's rules on network television, and they understand that, but they wanted to push it with Steel Panther, and I got to do nothing but respect that.
It's awesome, man. Well, longtime bassist Lexi Fox, you know, left Steel Panther a few years ago. Then you guys had a few fill-in guys playing bass, and then you wound up selecting your tour manager, Joe Spider Lester. What was it about Spider that none of the other bassists that had that you guys saw in the auditions, what did he have that set him apart?
He had a car. He had a damn car, and he could make it to rehearsal on time. And he had a car and he had a watch, and he knew how to use both. and we've known him forever, and it was like he was right under our noses the whole time, and it just made sense.
Well, personality-wise, he seems like he fits right in. I've watched a ton of video online, live stuff, and some of the skit videos you guys do, which I love. That stuff is so fun. But
thanks.
But bass-wise, did Spider bring something more than Lexi to the studio or the live show?
Well, if I'm being honest, Lexi Fox had some big shoes, and literally and figuratively. And I think that, Spider is a very, very good bass player. Lexi Fox was a very, very great performer. And, each of them has their strengths and each of them has weaknesses, as do we all. But I think Spider on bass, he's a more precise bass player than Lexi Fox. And he's, when we're playing and we're locking in as a rhythm section, it's a machine. So he's a great bass player.
And anyone listening right now, too, to this conversation, Steel Panther, you guys are all great musicians. I mean, flat out, each one of you guys can play and sing your ass off. As a musician watching you guys, it's a joy, man.
Oh, dude, thank you. It's funny. I've heard comments from people that say, "Oh, you just wear some spandex and then and tell a dick joke and then you can just do what they do." Well, it's not necessarily that simple. And we all came up as playing our instruments and practicing, and we all have done more gigs than probably any guys in any bands that I mean, we did 5-6 night a week residencies for years, and so we cut our teeth performing and playing. So it's nice of you to say, and I love the fact that we're looked at as a band of players, because that it's a funny thing. Nowadays you have these Instagram musicians who are like just ripping, like they can do the craziest stuff, but like they can't write a song.
Right.
Or some maybe songwriters, and they're not technically super proficient on their instrument. And I like to think that everybody in Steel Panther is creative and technically proficient, and and able to do all the things in music that that are required to be an entertaining band with musical chops as well as style.
Oh, you guys can flat out play. And Satchel, he is one of the most accurate guitar players I have ever seen on any stage anywhere. And you guys' harmonies are phenomenal.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, that dude was teaching at Musicians Institute when he was 17. So
yeah,
he's a freak show on guitar. And, it's funny when you have a guy like Michael Starr on vocals and a guy like Satchel on guitar. My job as the drummer, I'm there to lay down the foundation and just lay down this bed for them to do what they do, and it's cool. I love it. I love being the drummer in Steel Panther, man.
It's got to be the funnest band to be in the world, if you ask me, man.
It is a ton of fun, and I love when we're at a festival and all the other bands are on the side of the stage watching. Yeah. That's the thing that hurts me on the most, because like you're getting props from your peers. And don't get me wrong, I love that we have fans, and we can't do what we do without fans. At the same time, when other bands are on stage watching us, I feel a lot of pride.
I was at a festival years ago down in Ohio that you guys were at. And it was, it's a 3-day festival down in Columbus. Lots of bands there. And I was with some other radio people. And I says, hands down, the best musicians that performed this weekend were Steel Panther.
Oh, thanks, dude. That's nice.
I'm not mentioning the other bands that played that weekend, but there were some really big name bands there that you guys took them to school musically.
I appreciate that. I think that has a lot to do with how much we've played live and how much we all practiced when we were young, and we still take the performing aspect of it real seriously. Like, we don't get super messed up and then go on stage and blow it, because we value our fans, and you're only as good as your last show. And I know that's a cliche, but it's true, because if you go put on a mediocre performance, people go, "Oh yeah, I saw them. It was mediocre," and they don't want to come back. So, I think we're old and wise enough now to know, like, we got to stay on our game. because the young guns are coming and not letting them have it.
Now, Steel Panther's done very well in the United States, and I know you guys travel around the world. Is there a particular part of the world that you were surprised the band is so well known?
You know, I mean, maybe because it's brand new or fresh, but we just got back from South America, and I was totally floored at the reception that we got. It was very, very exciting. The energy level of the crowds there are unbelievable, and maybe that's because just not a lot of bands from, you know, America go to South America because it's expensive to tour there.
Yeah.
But you know, we felt like now was the right time for us to go try to, you know, build that market and go, you know, bring our brand of heavy metal to a place we hadn't really been. We've been one time, we did some shows with Kiss in Brazil.
Oh man.
But this time we hit, you know, 3 countries in South America and then Mexico City on our way up. And the reception was amazing, and if I'm basing, you know, going forward on what we just did, I think it's going to be pretty successful down there.
Awesome. Now, like any band, there are super fans out there that are sometimes just over the top. Is there a super fan or two that has done something absolutely insane in order to try and grab your Steel Panther's attention?
Well, I want to give a shout out to Bruce in Denver, Bruce and Aaron, who, you know, they've been to so many shows. I think this guy Bruce has the world's largest Steel Panther collection. I'm serious. I think he has something, one of everything we've ever released or created, and even stuff we haven't released. And he's always at the shows. He comes to different shows with his wife Erin, and you know, I think just by the sheer dedication that he has to it and the sheer love for it, I want to just mention him because I'll just say this, Tommy, he's crazy. And if he hears this, I want to say, Bruce, you're a nut house, and I love you for it. But it's pretty amazing, man. You know, the passion that some of the fans have when they bring gifts, and, you know, when you go to, like, I mean, I don't know if we're going to go back to Russia, but we've been in Russia a couple times, and when they give you gifts like a Russian nesting doll with heavy metal hair on, it's pretty funny.
Now, I know that you, from the outside looking in, you guys, it's hilarious, but I bet you guys have some of the best road stories ever. You got a couple that you could share that maybe I have to just edit a little?
Oh, man. Share. Well, I mean, I don't know how graphic I can get, but I did a show at the Playboy Mansion once, and we were playing, and there was these wings on the side of the stage that were like, so people could come to the side of the stage and the crowd couldn't see them. Yeah. And I remember going, oh my God, I'm at the Playboy Mansion. There's girls everywhere and there's food everywhere. And it was very surreal. And you're at the grotto. You're like, you know, remembering all the stories you've heard. And I'm playing, and I look over to my left, and there's this girl that comes back around the back of the wing of the side of the stage, and nobody can see her. I can see her because I'm back towards the back of the stage playing drums. Yeah. And I look over, and she looks at me, and she smiles, and I smile. I'm giving her my drummy, flirty face. Yeah. And she looks at me, and she takes off her shorts, and she takes off her shirt. She puts on these 4-5 foot wingspan angel wings and a little angel. She's changing into an angel, right?
Nice.
Because she's gonna go. I think she's gonna go do a performance, but she's totally naked. She winks at me. She turns around. She bends over. She grabs cheeks, and she gives me another wink. And then she stands up, blows me a kiss, and walks off. And I just went, what in the Jesus just happened? And it was one of those moments, man, that just sticks out. I was like, oh my God, I just got winked at by an angel.
Well, Stix, it has been a pleasure chatting with you, and we look so forward to Steel Panther coming to the GLC Live December 2nd, my friend.
Well, dude, Tommy, thank you for having me. I hope everybody buys a ticket. I hope you come because it's not the show you want to miss when all your friends are talking about it the next morning.
Absolutely. Well, Stix, you be well. We'll chat with you soon. I'll make sure we'll get those ornaments to you when you guys arrive, all right?
Okay, Tommy. Thanks, dude. I appreciate you.